Hello everybody, Mark Abbott here. I'm the portfolio manager for our work in evolving engineering impact area, and I'm also have the privilege of being the animator of the Engineering Change Lab. And I'd like to provide for you a quick overview of our work in evolving engineering. So as most of you are probably aware, since the very beginning of EWB back in the year 2000, the organization has always had a strong belief that the engineering profession has more to contribute to the world than was being expected of it, or even that engineers were expecting of themselves. And we've been working on this for ever since. So over the last 16, 17 years, we've been working on curriculum reform, we've been working on outreach, we've been kind of interacting with various parts of the engineering profession as a system. Over the last few years, I'd say the work has really accelerated in a really exciting way. And at this conference, we're excited to share with you some of the latest big picture thinking that's been emerging that's really taking our thinking, I think, to a whole other level in terms of what's possible and what it's going to take to get there. And in general, as a little bit of a preview of that, what we're realizing is that the engineering profession absolutely has this higher potential we've always sensed. And where that potential is realized is in the broader frame of the relationship between technology and society, and what that means in terms of creating the world we want to see. And it's been a really exciting sort of exploration over the last period as we've kind of recast things in this frame. Because when you think about it, this relationship between technology and society is one of the biggest questions facing the future of our species, of the planet. And what we're realizing is that the engineering profession isn't the only sort of group or the only people that are important to that relationship, but it's a key leverage point and one that we as EWB are in a great position to actually affect. And so one thing to really note right off the bat about our work in evolving engineering is that it's actually not about engineering. It's about what the engineering profession can or must do for the broader world. And a lot of the work is actually about engineers working with leaders from other backgrounds to help shape this relationship between technology and society. So something else that's really exciting right now is we have 4 initiatives within our impact area that are all making great progress. So probably a lot of you are familiar with the Global Engineering Initiative, which runs the Global Engineering Certificate. There's currently 5 schools that already have them in place. There's already some people starting to graduate. And there's probably about 15 or 20 other schools that are actually working on getting the certificate in place at their universities right now. So great progress, great opportunity for especially student chapter members to make impact from where they are at their school. And we'll talk more about how it fits into the bigger picture later in the day. Then you have Engineers of Tomorrow, which is doing amazing work in mobilizing the engineering profession itself to do high value outreach to the general public, and in particular to K-12 students who are thinking about careers in the engineering profession. And so they've got some amazing progress, mostly in Ontario so far, where they run National Engineering Month and a program called the Engineer in Residence program that matches professional engineers with schools. But we're in a great position with Engineers of Tomorrow to start scaling that nationally and pushing the work even further. Third is the Pivot program. So a lot of you have probably heard about Pivot as a program that's working on unlocking the higher potential of people in their workplaces. There's been a recent decision to bring the Pivot program under the evolving engineering impact area. And we're really excited about this because we think the sort of tighter frame of the evolving engineering impact area and the big picture thinking that we're seeing is really going to enable Pivot to get to the next level. So that's going to be a change that's kind of underway at this conference and a really big opportunity from those of you from professional chapters. And finally, we have the Engineering Change Lab, which launched 2 years ago actually at this conference and is having its 2-year anniversary at this conference. We were just finishing off the first 2-year phase of the lab and going into the next phase, and it's made great progress in bringing together leaders and organizations from across the profession. So universities, workplaces, regulators, advocacy bodies, nonprofits. We brought together a representative group of the profession to both think about this big picture, what is the higher potential of the profession, and to create new initiatives. So initiatives similar to the ones that I just listed that came out of EWB pre-lab. Now there's this kind of forum with the lab to create the next generation of initiatives that are coming up. So 4 kind of really great sort of things that are happening within the overall impact area. And what's exciting about it, why I'm really excited about it right now, is because of these breakthroughs in the big picture thinking and what's possible, and also because of the collaboration that's happening. So through the lab and because of EWB's reputation beyond the lab, we have relationships and we're working in close partnership with CEOs and VPs and directors of all the leading organizations that need to be part of this change in the profession. And so finally, the evolving engineering work is an amazing opportunity for you as systems change leaders to develop your skills, because systems change leadership is not a solo sport. In order to have the sort of impact we're talking on systems, we need to work in collaboration to both understand what's possible in systems at different levels and to take collective action that actually triggers the big change. So I look forward to talking to you and getting to know you better at the conference.